Awesome, awesome. I would say what's some awesome teamwork, right? We're all in multiple places of the world. Difficulties come up. I think the biggest lesson is that we figured out that Zoom is not fearful because we kept trying and we're here. So let's finish the PowerPoint. I'm going to share my screen again. Um, and this is where we left off right here. It's just so profound to understand. So when I was just double back real quick. Orange, right? Oranges are very delicious. They're sweet, but first they have to go into this process where they grow. They go into the ground, they come up, or they might be on trees. I don't actually have to look into that a little again. But once you take that orange and you squeeze it, really, 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 really good, you're gonna get some fire orange juice, right? So the implied task is whatever's inside of you personally, that's what's gonna come out. That's what's gonna come on the outside. And you say, well, it's just an orange. No, I mean think about it. So when fear is pressed, you ever been so fearful that somehow you became successful of that? Like the fear began chasing you, but you clicked in your mind that you're gonna chase it now because you overcame something. So pretty much that's what I'm talking about. That's that fearless, that's that productivity. Because how do you get there? You speak what you see until you see, or until you speak it until you have it. It's all about possession. It's all about understanding who you are, knowing whose you are. For those that don't know Christ, I definitely would say you got to know yourself. If you're afraid of heights, go up a couple flights and just look and honestly admit to yourself, what am I in control of? Vision. Remember, that was the first slide, vision versus sight. My sight looks like I could just drop, but my vision actually says I'm actually in a secure place and I can see a lot of places and I'm pretty high, but it's the thought that's trying to host it. It's bigger, and it's not. It's a thought. Any thought that's actually opposite of what God, He tells us to take every thought into captivity, so that it's having us ponder on negative things to actually delete that and go into a positive mindset continuously. It's a daily effort. I call it daily denial. So with that denial, you have to continually fight within yourself to say, look, hey, this is, I know myself well enough to say no to this. I've said yes to it many times, but today I said no to fear. um, my next slide is going to go into that first slide again. What was last shall be first. So the first reaction when we saw this beautiful picture was fear. Now it's the last time you'll see it. What do you have now? Just the picture. It's relaxed. It's a part of the presentation, but also that same scripture just lets you know my first reaction doesn't have to be my same one the entire time of my life. The first reaction when fear comes is anxiousness and anxiety, fear, just anything that you could think of that would actually make you not want to feel that. So just know that it's also in your power to choose and make a decision in your heart and mind to switch it. When I see fear, I can see it for that second, but I also can know, let me look into that a little bit more before I feel the fear and it tries to consume me. So that shows that you have that much power, because every person on this earth is very powerful because they have the decision to change. This says, fear not for what you don't know, because you have room to grow. But look at all of us. She just said it. We're all going to take it as the lesson. Fear the known, because we don't know the purpose. And I'm just going to paraphrase. We don't know the purpose or the intentions of who taught that. If it's not the word, if it's not God's word, the foundation has to be proven or tested. And that's how you can say, oh, I have my opinion. That's great. Everybody's entitled to that. But if your opinion is offended, then your opinion is based off of emotion and not actual biblical or any type of substance, because you can go and you blow with the wind. So, and with everything, seek Jesus, believe in what the Father said. His word is foundation. It's actually a living word. And so he'll give you the steps, but will you walk in them? Will you walk in those steps? I know I have, and these are the three things that God has been working on me. This is the coaching right here, Renewed Minds. This is our podcast, International Renewed Minds, Renewed and Reminded, excuse me. And then we also have the candle collection that we just dropped. And so this link right here, if you want to screenshot it, or if you guys have, it will be recorded as well. So this anchor right here, that's how you listen to us on the podcast. We're a godly podcast. Um, this is a very well-known quote. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. I'm going to just stop right there. We need to change this statement because it's the acceptance of that fear. This is why it's so popular. It's not that this statement is known for what it says. It's actually adding to the fear and making it agreeable. See, I want to change this. I wanted to say, our greatest opportunity is to believe we are powerful beyond measure because we have that capacity. It is our light and not our darkness that we're most frightened by. But I also want to even tweak that a little bit. I would say, even in our darkest moments, if you can show by raising your hand, you found who you were. You figured out how rough and tough you could be. So that darkest place gave me appreciation for the light that I finally knew I had, because I had it the whole time. I had it the whole time. So I'm so excited. This right here is a big book. It's Romans. It's a good book. It's the 6th chapter, verses 16 to 20. It talks about when Jesus walked on water. I don't know if you guys know that, but I'm going to go into it real quick and I'll be done. Basically, they were already in this boat set for a journey in their mind. So they had an idea that when they get there, it'd be cool, copacetic. But the thing is, they left Jesus. And so he comes walking on the water. They don't know who that is. The first thing they do is have fear. But see, they didn't think of it. Who out of anybody they know out of their century has walked on water towards anybody? Nobody. But even when he spoke, there was only one person that got out of that boat out of the 12 that were there. And there was only one person that was already walking so they could see. And some people had sight and some people had vision. Some people will walk and some people won't. So I would tell you to live fearless and productive is to trust in the Lord and to know that fear is fear and to know that productive is not unproductive. That anything that is going against you, right? Look at it, analyze it, just take 2 seconds. Is this bringing me fear? Am I afraid? Okay, this might be something I should be focused on. And once you make that decision in your heart, mind, and then you go ahead and put that to action and apply it daily, you'll be living. You won't be needing to know how because you'll be doing it already. You got to give yourself the props. That's it. That's it, guys. I don't have anything else. Renewed and Reminded is our godly podcast. You can stay connected to us with this email also. My name is Juanita Deloach, but I go by Coach Q, and that's all I have for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Coach Deloach. Is really, really, really so interesting learning from you this evening. Actually, this is my first time of learning some things from your slide. And I love the beginning of your slides where you're sharing the pictures of, I think, the things you have gone through that shows how you're able to overcome fears and you're able to grow your confidence. I really, really appreciate you. So thank you so much for that presentation. Do we have any question, please, before we move? Any question? And let me make it official now. I'm so sorry for whatsoever might be going on with the network, with the technical issues that we are facing on this summit. But just like Andres said, we are here to learn how to overcome fear. So we shouldn't allow anything, no matter what happens, no matter what we're experiencing, to hold us back, to push us back to our shell. We are out to conquer the world. We are out to empower ourselves in order to make the world a better place. So nothing can stop us. Can anything stop you? Can I hear your voice? Can anything stop you? Unmute yourself and just shout no.
No.
No. No.
No, 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 no. Nothing can stop us. So we've made up your mind, we've made up our mind to conquer fear and to grow confidence. So nothing can actually stop us. So thank you so much, Deloach. We'll go to the next speaker, which is Sumaj. Is Sumaj here?
Hello.
Yes, Sumaj.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So yes, I can hear you. So Suma Ajish is a travel consultant and learner in public speaking. So she has a long journey in the field of education, working as a teacher. She's also an entrepreneur and also managing her own firm. Suma, are you here?
Yes.
So she's from India and she's based. If there's something I'm going with today, if there's something I'm going out from here is the fact that, what's it?
Am I audible?
What's it?
Am I audible?
Yes,
Am I
I
audible
can
to
hear
you?
you. Yes.
Okay.
So
So
I said the one thing I learned today is that you are from India and you are based in India. So thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much, Becky,
Can you hear me?
for inviting
Okay,
me
good.
with a great introduction.
Yeah.
So, my name is Sumajish. I started my career as a school teacher. Then I transferred into an academy where I was teaching students. They were preparing for university examination for graduation in tourism. And then I started my own academy at 2014 until 2018. I was engaging with that academy. Then at the end of 2018, I decided to come and live with my husband in Italy. There I started my working as a travel consultant. This was my entire career journey. Then and in 2019 I stopped this because I conceived, so I wanted to take care of baby. And my baby turns 2 years old, so I am utilizing my time to prepare myself for something that I was looking to uh, become more productive. So that is what I am here. So I am first I would like to say special thanks to Anshu Tiwari for creating such a wonderful platform where we can share, and I also can raise my voice throughout the world. So this is a wonderful opportunity. I appreciate, and I show my gratitude to Anshu Tiwari. And for the entire team, Becky and you are also, including every speakers, you people are providing valuable informations at every day. I also getting a lot of learning, and it is I got inspired through your speeches. So it is a wonderful opportunity for everyone, because we all are learning with professionals. So my topic today is how to become fearless, and how to live fearless and become productive. This is what today my experience. I'm so sorry because of my accent, or maybe my English pronunciations, because this is first time I am taking this opportunity to speak in front of the audience who is not in my local language. I'm so happy that nobody is here from my local language, because I am from Kerala. So this is my first speech that I am going to deliver. So this today, what I want to share these informations from my own experience, because I can connect all my life experience throughout this speech, because I am born and brought up in a fear. This because it was all my life experiences. I was in emotion for many years, because sometimes I break my voices because of my emotions. I'm so sorry for that, but I want to complete anyway this speech. So what I am starting because fear, which means that we all know that we all have certain kinds of fear in our mind, and sometimes we call it is kind of phobia, or sometimes we really have to level out that kind of fear to practice something, in maybe a new habit or maybe new behavior pattern, that we need to diminish that kind of fear. That what I experienced from my own childhood. Because when I look at my life, my I told you that I was born in 1981. February 2nd was my 7th was my birthday. Sorry. And after I was born, after 16 days, my mother turned unstable mental condition. This was the day when I started suffering, I don't know my childhood how I was, but I was growing. I remember everything in front of me was such a fearful situations, because my father was an alcoholic addict. So as you could imagine that the situation, because we were three siblings, and my mother got married at the age of 15. She got first delivered at the child at the age of 16, and 18 another kid, and 20 was mine. So this I realized now, but as I started growing with the siblings, and we started knowing that all these situations because of my mother couldn't able to manage her fear, because she was very young, she was teenager, and that was all the things that affected her life, and she became uh, actually an unstable mental condition that I can't tell you that where we were moving such a hard time, and we were pulling and pushing out all these emotions. So, and finally, when I reached my teenage level, I started recognizing that I born and brought up in a poor family background. My mother was not supported, and she nobody could save her life. And as I grow, and my siblings, because many times me and my siblings were not together, because of these conditions we were living in different places with the relatives, and many of the times we didn't have something to thought about that would be grateful was happening in our life, because I tell you that I hardly remember one of the toy or one of the dresses that I received from my family or from my relatives, but all those tension was affected in my life when I was in 13 years old. I decided to hide myself from everywhere, from everyone. So that was my condition. So finally, I decided one thing, to study very well, to um, to get a good job so I can change the condition. That was my only desire in my life. And many times we three siblings had the same problem, but we waited outside of the classroom without writing, not because we had notebook, we hadn't have a notebook. And many times our teachers offered us a notebook also. So all these kinds of fear, my father, because badly beaten my mother, badly beaten us also, threatened us also. So this kind of fear I had been going through in my life. And at the age of 17 and a half, I had two options left in my life. One is to I scored a good mark in schooling, so also I had a chance to go and study in a very good university, but I had left with the two options, either to continue my study or either to go for work. These were the two options, because my father threatened me and told me that he would kill me and my mother if I would not go for work. So I'm so sorry. This is my emotion I am going to take out. So please tolerate me if I went wrong. So this time I decided, I took an extreme step to go and work. So at the age of 17 and a half years old, I started working. But at the age of 18, I started to end up my life for committing suicide, because of all sufferings I had. Because of the reason is that my sister used to write letters narrating all the incident that had happening at home, and I was also reading this letter. I was like, I realized that I couldn't able to burden all the to shoulder the burden of the of life. So I was like, I decided to commit suicide. And I wrote a long letter to my sister. And the next day, I got everything ready at night for committing suicide. And then at 11 o'clock, I was awakened, and I was looking others to sleep nearby my roommate, because I was living in outside of the state. I left my family and my sister and my mother, and because my sister used to stay with my mother because she wanted to save my mother's life, because my father was an alcoholic addict. He never knew what he was doing, and this was a situation we were moving through. And when I decided to commit suicide, powerfully, I can tell you that in the midnight I slept because I was weeping. My night ended up with tears on my pillow, and I wrote a letter to my sister. I kept under my pillow that letter, and then I slept. I was in deep sleep. So suddenly I was recognizing, I got like, in my subconscious mind, something was working. I heard a voice, a mother's voice against the my wall, and I was like about at 3 p.m. Sorry, 3 a.m. in night. I was like, I heard voice, a lady's voice calling by name with baby, and was telling that, baby, you got solved every problem. Don't cry in your life. So this was the something that happened in my mind. That situation, that day, when after I was awakening, I had the feeling that someone patted on my overhead, and I suddenly got up, and I switched on my light, and I have not seen nothing but some kinds of feeling I have. I forget everything what happened in my life, and I took a decision. Whatever the life situations I have, I never commit suicide. This was, thank you so much. This was my experience I had been through. Then I decided to work so hard to save my sister and my mother and supported them. And finally, at the age of 23, I took a decision to graduate myself. For that, my brother and my sister supported me to get good education. So where I completed with good grade, and I done an international course of tourism from Montreal, Canada. All the expenses beared my brother, and then I got selected in a good institution where I was teaching. So through this way, my life all about, I can tell you. Then I had another fear to get married, because I have seen all the fears of my parents' life. So my mother, and I was like, if I get a husband like my father, what should I do? So I rejected many times to get married. But finally, I met my husband as a friend. I waited him 2 years to give a proper answer because I had fear. But he told me, he contacted me and said, if you come and marry me, I will take care of you the entire life. This was his promise. And I waited another 7 years to get marry him, and we were in love. But then again, everything was solved when the day I get married him. My life, my smile, everything was on my face. This is about my life. What I learn or you can take away from this learning is, one thing: we all burn out with in certain situations. But if you are burning out, you must aware about what kind of situations you are going through, whether it be physically or verbally. So harassment comes through two ways. One is physically or verbally. If you are threatened by someone, yes, it is a kind of fear it is creating in your mind. So that you need to take out your emotion, that is very important. So one experience I am telling about to take out your you, if you are having the stress, because all the situations, how you can level out this stress, to speak to someone who you can trust with. This because I have a lot of colleagues, I had a lot of I worked with lots of them, but I never revealed my real story to anyone, because I afraid if I tell somebody this story, they will make fun of me or they will not accept me. So this was a kind of fear I had, because I was extremely happy the whole day I was working with my colleague, and they never knew about my real situations which I was going through. And those kinds of emotions I all often took out in my bed and in my in night. So I was sleepless because I used to overthinking with all kinds of emotions. And I was thinking about my mother, how I can change her situation. And finally, one thing I am telling you is that your prayer will help you a lot, because on my mother's condition also, she insisted us to pray every 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. till 7 p.m. And I born and brought up in a Hindu family, so we used to lit a lamp in front of us, we placing and we praying. That I practiced since my childhood with my mother, because my mother learned and all these prayers from my grandmother. So now I know this is a kind of visualization, but in my childhood and till this time, I never knew about visualization. But it was a kind of visualization I used to do with, and I used to communicate with God to bring all happiness, all good things for me. But it slowly I am recognizing that is I am getting everything which I prayed since my childhood. So I am not telling you about my success. If you ask me, I never tell you that I never earned $1 billion industry, or I have trained lakhs of people in this world. But a few thousand people I trained, because to transfer my knowledge to them. That was a thing that I have done from my side. But the third thing I learned, to take care of yourself. Your self love and care is very important. If you don't love yourself, you don't care others. But I went to a psychiatrist to treatment for my mother. So I was talking to doctor, what happened to my mother, how can I save her situation. So doctor told me, Suma, I have no hope that she will come back, because her subconscious mind and conscious mind preferred one thing, that is to live with. So that was afraid. Nobody was to take care of her. Nobody was to help her. That was the situation. She turned her life into that situation. So what I learned from my experiences, if you have a conscious subconscious, it will be good. So whatever we are conveying consciously, we are going to conveying it in unconscious mind, and it will remain in level will be the same. So it will take time to bring out that particular result. So then what the last point I want to tell you is that you need to practice a lot, successful in your life, regain the power from particular every single day. That practice, and you need to be with positive, like-minded people. That I have learned from myself, because after joining this communication, this global live speakers challenge group, I had fear to speak in English. Many times I asked Anshu whether I can properly. If I go, if I get my English is not very fluent. So how can I? So she told me that no matter, Suma, whatever you have subject, you just deliver every day. Your content will be remain, and every day when you practice, you will improve yourself. And one day she advised me to take anybody from this group, so you can disclose your problem to them. So one day today I think I am very emotionless, because of the reason I took out my emotion. I blasted myself in front of one group member here. For at least 2 hours we had a speech, we had a talk at least two 2 years, 230 years, 2 hours and 30 minutes. We been discussing a lot of matters. So that is the reason I took out my emotion. So that is what I learned from my own experience, and this is from my heart. That is whatever telling about this topic. So this all about my experiences that I had been going through in my life. I am sharing it with you because to finish this topic, people are listening me. So I think maybe next time we will discuss about people are listening me. So I think maybe next time, because this is my first speech, I don't know how long it will take or how many mistakes I have made. I can't able to rectify because of this such a wonderful opportunity for me. If you have any question, please you can.
Suma, thank you very, very much. Please, can we just celebrate her? She's a very, very strong
Thank
woman.
you.
She
Yeah.
is a very, very strong woman. Yeah, I want to appreciate you. Thank you for not
Thank you,
giving up
Becky.
on yourself. Thank you for not silencing that voice. You know, that voice is what the world is hearing now. And you're already a hope to the hopeless. I really want to celebrate you, Suma. Thank you for not taking that step. Wow, wow. In
Thank you
fact,
so much from the bottom of my heart.
your story
Thank
held
you.
me spellbound. Like I was just like, wow. Wow. Firstly, I want to celebrate you and appreciate you on the first time. You said this is your first time of speaking in front of people like us, like, you know, people like maybe the first time you're speaking in English
Yes,
to people like us. I want to really
yes,
appreciate you. You really, really did
yes.
wonderfully well. You did so well. Thank you
Thank
for
you
that
so much.
confidence. And then from your story, your personal story is enough to teach one how to live fearless. You know, one word I was just able to summarize your life story is fear is something that you either conquer or it conquers you. You know, you either conquer
Yes,
your fear or the fear conquers you. So many people
yes.
that succumb to suicide is just because they allow the fear to conquer them.
Fear.
People that are not
Live
coming
out.
out of their
Say.
comfort zone, people that are not taking steps, they allow the
Yes.
fear to conquer them. So the
Live
moment you
it.
start taking
Yes.
steps, you are conquering your fear. Yes. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Suma. You really, 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 really did justice to this topic. Thank you so much. And then you also
Thank you
said
so much.
something that prayers will help. Yes, prayer will help. So Please, anybody wants to celebrate her or say something before we move to the last speaker? Andrea, please.
Suma, you are a survivor of fear. You are an angel. You are bold, courageous, and oh my
Thank
God,
you.
that voice really is inspiring people who resonate with all that fear, because all that fear is still present in today's world. So you have some mission, girl. You are powerful beyond measure, and I deeply appreciate that I meet you and I know your story, and
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
you are bold because you are telling your story in your first speech. So that is applaudable. So I applaud you. You
Thank
are
you.
a
Thank you.
phenomenal.
Yeah, she is. Of course, she is. Yes, she is. So, Suma, in fact, I just want you to know that your voice is meant to go out to the world. You are a voice to the hopeless. You are a
Thank
hope
you.
to the hopeless. So please don't keep quiet. Just keep talking. Keep sharing that message.
Yes.
Keep sharing hope. Keep sharing hope.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
just so
you.
wonderful knowing. Look at you. Just look at you. Just look at you after what you've been through. We are not what we have been through. Somebody looking at you now will never know your story. We never know what you have
Yes.
gone through.
Yes.
Seriously, you did it so well. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy I know you. Thank you so much. And to all the past speakers, thank you. So we
Thank you
have
so much.
our finals. You're welcome. So we hope to hear more about you. We hope to hear more from you on the community. So please don't stop talking. So our next speaker is Veronica Williams. She's another wonderful woman. I read about, and I was just like, wow. So let me just summarize what I have here. Veronica Williams is a licensed minister, a mentor, and transformation life coach. So she's a survivor of domestic violence and molestation, therefore becoming an advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves. Veronica speaks nationally on domestic violence and sexual abuse issues. Wow, that's a wow. So she's a woman with many offices. She's the CEO of Proverb 31 Empowerment Ministry. She's a founder of Girls Show Up. She's also a certified transformational life coach. And then she has a mantra. I just have to read this mantra. She said, Veronica Life's mantra is accept the things you cannot change the things you can, and have the wisdom to know the difference. So these words have become personal in our life journey of healing and restoration. Wow, I can't wait to hear this story. So please join me to welcome Veronica Williams. Please, you're welcome. Please join me to welcome her in any way. Can we just clap for her as she just take the platform? Veronica Williams.
Thank you.
Please, you can go on.
Are you excited today about learning how to conquer your fears? Are you prepared to learn how to live in your passion and walk in your purpose and live a productive life? My objective here today is to teach you how to live in your passion, to conquer your fears, and live productively. I am Veronica Williams. Many people call me Coach V, and as you already heard, I'm a transformation life coach. I'm a empowerment speaker. I am a mentor, and I speak to women all over about different topics. Specifically, I speak a lot about sexual abuse. I speak a lot about domestic violence that I've experienced personally myself. And I did become an advocate because I know that it happens every day. It's happening to the little girl that's inside of us that's dealing with being molested by an uncle or by a friend or by a family friend. So I speak a lot on that subject today. But first of all, I want to say thank you to Anshua, Andrea, and our host, Becky, today. And it is an honor to be on the platform with so many wonderful speakers. And I have gotten something from each and every one of you today. I've been taking notes, and I thank you for your wisdom. And for the sake of time, I won't be before you long because I know we did have technical difficulties that were beyond everyone's control. So, and sure, it's not your fault. It just happened. So I will be respectful of the time that I have. So first of all, I want to start out by telling you a story. And you're gonna have to follow me closely because this is a story that go up and down, up and down. But when I get to the end of the story, you'll completely understand why I'm telling the story, because this story is about jumping off the cliff. And it's about a lady who was married for 30 years. She had never lived alone. She had always been with family. She was in a marriage that went sour. She was in a marriage that she found herself no longer having a desire to achieve. She found herself not being productive. She found herself very, very unhappy after 30 years. Mind you, this woman had never lived alone, had never been in a home by herself. So she got to a point where she felt like she had to make a decision. She had to make a decision to stay where she was, which was in an unproductive place, was a comfort zone. But we all know that as long as you stay in your comfort zone, you cannot grow. So she found herself faced with a decision. Do I stay where I'm not productive, or do I take a chance and go to a place where I can be productive? Of course, fear set in because she was about to do something that she'd never done, to have something that she never had. So she found herself at the edge of a cliff, making a decision. She would look back to wonder, should I just stay here? Then she would look in front of her while she was on the edge of this cliff, full of fear, looking down, wondering, should I just jump off the cliff? This woman made a decision because she could no longer live in an unproductive situation. She had dreams, she had goals, she had things that she wanted to do, and her present situation did not allow her to do those things. So she found herself at the edge of a cliff, almost at a crossroad in life, trying to decide, what should I do? So she stood at the edge of this cliff, full of fear, but she made a decision. And that decision was to jump off the cliff, jump into a new life, jump into productivity. And when she jumped, her whole life changed. Even though she was full of fear, her whole life changed. So you have to picture her standing there, afraid, afraid to make a decision, praying to God that, God, let this be the right decision. Let this be the right move. So she decided to jump. She decided to jump off of a cliff. I want to encourage you today to jump. Wherever you are, in your dreams, in your passions, in your goals, in your life, if you want something different, you have to do something different. So I encourage you to take a leap of faith. Take the leap of faith and jump off the cliff, jump into the unknown, jump into a place you've never been before. Because by this woman jumping, she jumped into all she desired for her life. Jumping off the cliff is about taking chances. It's about taking risks. It's about trusting God. It's about not knowing what's going to happen, but believe that the best is going to happen for me, that the best is going to happen for you by you taking a chance. So I want you to just go with me for a moment. I want you to just close your eyes and imagine that you have two lives. You have the life that you've been living where you're not being as productive as you want to be. You want to make things happen. You want things to get bigger. You want to write that book. You want to be on stage. You want to empower people. So now, full of fear, but you close your eyes. You're at the end of this cliff. You're trying to decide what is the best thing for me to do. Yes, I'm afraid. Yes, I'm full of fear. But it's been said that fear is false evidence cliff, you have your eyes closed. You're standing there, you're trying to decide what is the best thing for me to do. Yes, I acknowledge my fear, and I acknowledge that I'm afraid of this next place in my life. But you decide, okay, I'm going to jump. I'm going to jump into the unknown. I'm going to jump to see what happens. And you jump into the life that you always wanted. That one chance that you took changed the entire course of your life. That you're on a new course in your life because you decided to take a risk, because you decided to take a chance, because you refuse to let fear paralyze you. You decided to take a leap, and you leaped into the place that you always wanted to be. So many times we make decisions based off of fear. We make decisions based off of what we're afraid to do. We make important decisions based off of failure and feeling like we can't accomplish that. I can use myself as a personal testimony. I always say I had the what if syndrome. What if it don't work? What if I fail? What if I don't achieve it? What if nothing happens? I had the what if syndrome, but then I decided to give myself positive self-talk, to get rid of all the negative self-talk that I had in my mind all my life. I grew up in a negative environment. As you probably can tell by my story, I grew up in a negative environment. So negative thinking was a part of who I was. But I got to a point that I was tired of being afraid. I was tired of being fearful. So I began to talk to myself, and I began to tell myself, what if you did achieve it? What if it did happen? What if everything that you want to see came to pass? So I want you to think with me for a moment. What if you got rid of the fear? What if you conquered the fear? What if what I attempted to do was successful? Think for a moment. What if everything I tried to do was successful? What if the very thing, the goal, the dream that I've been dreaming of all my life, if I got rid of the what if syndrome and just jumped and leaped and took that jump off the cliff, what if it became what I really desired most in my life? Just think how the course of your life will change. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is fear. Fear is the only thing that holds us back. If you see a person that's successful and a person that's unsuccessful, you can just about believe that there is fear in the mind of the person that is unsuccessful. Okay. Everything that you desire, everything that you want, everything that you dream of is on the other side of fear. So I'm challenging you today to conquer that fear that's in your life. Do not allow that fear to paralyze you. Do not allow that fear to keep you stuck. Do not allow that fear to keep you stagnant. Be willing to jump and take a leap. And I promise you, I feel it in my soul, I feel it in my spirit, that you will accomplish that thing that you want to accomplish. And I want to move on, and I want to give you 3 points, 3 powerful points. I call these key points. And if you're taking notes, I ask that you write these down so you can go back to them at a later date. But passion pursues productivity. When you understand what your passion is, when you understand what you're called to do, that thing will drive you into being productive because you have a desire to want to do it. You have a desire because it makes you happy. It makes you feel good. What is that thing that a lot of people say, what is that thing that floats your boat? That's just something that people say. What is that thing that floats your boat? What is that thing that kindles your fire? What is that thing that sets your soul on fire? What is that one thing? I can promise you that's your passion. A lot of times I found that people are already working in their passion, but they don't realize that that's what their calling is. And I can use myself again as an example. When I went to my pastor of my church, And he says, well, what area of ministry do you feel like you're called to? I said, I don't know. I didn't have an idea. But when I sat and thought about it, I was already working in women's ministry. I was already working with teenagers. I was already working with young adults. I was already working in my passion. So you've heard the question before. What is the one thing that you would do for the rest of your life and never get paid for it? What is the one thing that you would do for the rest of your life and never have to get paid for? What is that one thing? That one thing could very well be your passion. So if it's something that you love to do, something that lights your fire, something that ignites you in the inside, just stay on that, push that, and that'll be your passion. And what is it like to turn your passion into productivity, turn your passion into a full-time job, something that you can do every day? So my next point is adopt a productivity mindset. And I liked how Elena talked about the subconscious mind and the mind. And I think Suma also touched on it as well. And I love the way Matthias took us through the meditation process, because I feel like in order to be productive, it has to start in your mind. It has to be a mindset. So how do you adopt a productivity mindset? It's by being intentional and taking sure steps on a daily basis. Being intentional about what you do towards your goal, towards your dream, toward being productive. Be intentional about it and take sure steps every day. So when you are trying to be productive, you have to have a mental attitude. Then here we go talking about the mindset. This is like the third time. And I also think Juanita also touched on it. We're talking about the mindset. Okay, having a mental mindset to strengthen your resolve. What does that mean? Having a mental mindset to strengthen your resolve. That means that you're operating with determination and confidence toward a productive life. Mental resolve is that you're operating with confidence and determination toward your productive lifestyle. Whatever productive look like for you, that you operate toward, you take intentional and sure steps toward it every day. And my last point is be systematic. Develop a strategic system that is tailor-made just for you. What everybody else does may not work for you. You have to do what works for you. You have to figure out what works for me. What works for me? Okay, because this person does this on a daily basis, it works for them. But I have to know myself and my lifestyle and all the things that I have going, like husband, children, work, marriage, ministry. I have to know what works for me. So you have to be strategic in your planning what works for you. So let me use myself again as an example. I've been trying to write a book for some time. I decided to be strategic, and on Wednesdays at around 7 p.m., that is my time that I sit down to write. There is no distractions. My phone is off. I refuse to take any phone calls. I refuse to be distracted. I lock myself away. I get my pen and paper. I pray. I research. I study. That hour is devoted to my book. That's my strategic planning session for myself. So you have to know what works for you. That may not work for you, but you have to find what works for you. Also, I've tried to incorporate the 80-20 rule. I've really tried to use that. And if you don't know what it is, you can go on the internet and research it more. For the sake of time, I'm just going to give you a few things. The main point about the 80-20 rule is to find small things that result in big changes. That's basically the 80-20 rule. You want to incorporate small things, find small things that work for you, but you get big results. It's like not working so hard, but it's about working smarter, prioritizing the right things in order to deliver the best results for you. But whatever you're trying to achieve, it's about working smarter and prioritizing to get the best results that you are trying to receive. So that's part of my strategic planning, is to try to sit down, figure out what can I do that's going to yield me the best results. What can I do? Okay. So I want to give you this exercise as I'm ending my session. I want to give you this exercise. And so if you have your pen and paper, I'm gonna ask you to make a list of 10 things that you want to do, that you put most of your time on. Whatever you're trying to be productive at, you will make a list of 10 things that you put most of your time into. Okay, after you've done that, you want to go to the second thing, and that's to the 2 things that you have seen that bring you back the best results. 2 things that you have seen that yield the best results for you. So after you wrote down your 10 things that you're trying to be productive at, you want to write down the 2 things out of those 10 things that has given you the best results. After you've done that, you want to begin to eliminate the things that don't work for you. Eliminate the things that don't work for you and focus on the 2 to 3 things that you sing. And Coach Q, she said, I think she said she has a podcast and she has different things like that. So if you're doing a podcast, what is working for me on my podcast? What do I need to eliminate? Maybe not even eliminate so much, but maybe outsource it to someone else that can help you. This is your strategic planning. In conclusion, pursue your passion. Adopt a productivity mindset and be systematic. These are my 3 points. Pursue your passion, adopt a productivity mindset, and be systematic. Those are my 3 points. So as I close, I want to empower you. I want to encourage you. I want to challenge you to live your best life possible. Live in your passion, live in your purpose, conquer those fears, jump off the cliff. Jump off the cliff and jump into the best life that you could possibly have. Jump off the cliff. I'm excited. I'm excited for what's going to happen for all of us after today, because I feel like this was very empowering. This was very motivational. This was very encouraging. So as we take all the nuggets that everybody has given us, I encourage you to live in your passion, live your best life, pursue your dreams, pursue your goals, do what you have been called to do in life. And my prayer today is that my speech has helped you to move in the place that God has called you to be. Thank you. God bless. Thank you all so very much for the opportunity. This is the end of my speech.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well done.
Wow, 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 wow. Veronica, this is just so great. I've been writing. My notes are full. Thank you so much, Veronica. Thank you. So from your, let me just share a few points from what I was able to get from this wonderful session that you just shared. One thing I picked there is jumping out is leaping out in faith. Like, life is just scared, is a risk. So not doing anything. So you not doing anything is just as risky as also you doing something. So this charge from Veronica is just enough for us to push us forward. So he also said fear can be the only thing holding us back. Yes, I can say that again and again and again and again. Fear is the only thing holding us back. The fear of the unknown, fear of uncertainty, what's gonna happen, what if I do this? And then you share about the what if. Now, I use the what if a lot in my therapy. This what if fear is one of the burdens. We have 3 burdens. The past burden, which is if only; the present burden, which is what now, and then the future burden, which is the what if. This what if has kept many from going forward. What if it doesn't work out? What if I try it and it fails? What if, a lot of what if have kept many from going forward, from taking steps. So what I do in therapy is, I always advise people to just replace that what if, that negative what if, because there are a lot of positive what if that people don't focus on it. That is, you say, what if it doesn't work out? Then what if it works out? What if I fail? What if you succeed? So, you know, there are a lot of what if that has kept many bound. What if people laugh at me? You know, the reason why many people don't do this live videos that you're supposed to showing up every day, you know, is you have this fear that what if I make mistake? What if people are laughing at me? What if people see my videos and they don't appreciate what I say? What if people don't even look at my videos? You know, that what if is enough to keep you back.
A lot of them,
I've been there before, so I will say it. So a lot of what if. So you need to conquer that what if you really want to move on. And then she shared about the 3 points. In fact, that 3 points is enough for me to write a book on. You know, the first one is passion. You know, pursue your passion. Pursue productivity. You know, so one thing you should talk about, one thing that you can do for the rest of your life. You know, one of my mentors used to say that being successful is being paid for what you are passionate about. So imagine you just doing what you are just so passionate about and you are being paid for it. So that is one good thing about passion. You know, you have to be intentional about taking steps. You know, you just have to be intentional if you want to conquer your fears.
Yeah.
Then she talk about adopting a productivity mindset. And the third one is you have to system that is tailored for you. So that, and I hope you also write down the exercise. I'm actually going to do it, the 80-20 rule. So it's really, really very important. And it's not something that you just do once in your life. It's something that you need to keep doing as you grow and you grow and you go. Once you go to a phase, you do it. You get to a phase, you do it. It's a way of checking your life, whether you are doing the right thing. So please, do we have any question for Veronica Williams? Thank you so much for that wonderful session. Do we have any question, please?
Okay, so going ahead, actually, I want to request from all of you guys, can you please give a stand-up applause to everyone? Leave your chair, and can I just leave your chair and standing applause for each and every speaker? Wow, wow, you guys really rock it. Rock it, guys, rock it. And such a full of wisdom, full of learnings, and I have learned a lot of things from your experience. And second thing, can you guys just give a high five to each other? Yay, yay, high five, high five. You guys are really awesome. Awesome, we are awesome. And one request more, can you guys just 3 to 4 times, can we jump? So just to be to boost our energy, because you know it's been a 2.5 hours. We just somewhere we are feeling lazy. So can you guys 1 and 2, 3, and 3 times jump? I jump. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! Yay! A big applause to everyone. A big applause to everyone. Really. Wow, incredible, and such a amazing speaking each and everyone. And see guys, just I'm feeling so much proud of you, and I'm feeling like I'm sitting at the best place because of you. And I always say that world is that better place because of you guys. You guys are rocking. So if I just 2 minutes, I will take not more than 2 minutes. If I talk about my dealing of fears, so there are many dealing, but presently I'm focused on actually just I make a list. What is my fear? If I talk about, then everyone has a different list. If I take the example, so fear of public speaking, fear of audiences, fear of animal and any snack, I can say that, fear of complexion, fair and black and white, and fear of relationship, fear of losing love, fear of poverty. Okay, so what I'm doing, whatever the fear I have, I make a list, and besides I make a one column that is what the action I'm going to take to beat my fear, to finish my fear, to overcome my fear. If I talk about public speaking, so what the action? I have taken action that I have created the community. there I have realized that there are many guys, there are many people who are suffering from fear of public speaking. So what I took actions, I created a community where I am improving my communications and I am allowed to others improving the same thing. And I'm also analyzing that how much percentage, where I have started this action and where I am going. Is this going to improve? So how much percentage? Where I was when I started and where I am today. So if I have a fear of a snake, so what I am going to take actions to overcome from the fear of snake. If I have a fear of relationship, what the actions? What is I'm going to work on it? Am I just working on my relationship more? Like, am I loving and loving my husbands more? Am I just working to repair my relationship with emotions, with love, with gifting, with giving, we can say that gratitude, right? So these are the some examples, and these are the some activities I'm just dealing my fear. But besides that, I have learned from you guys how we can see another aspects to dealing the fear. So very great speeches you have delivered, and thank you so much, Suma, to just showing your vulnerability story. And I'm very blessed that I'm just listening you, and I have learned a lot from your life story. And if I
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you,
I'm just going to
Anshu.
start to thank you today. Yes. So thank you so much to all the each and speakers, Williams, Veronica Williams, Quantia, Suma, and Matt, and I'm missing someone, Alina, and yes, I'm finished. Now special thanks to Becky, Andrea, and all of my special guests that just due to you guys, this summit is possible after so much suffering. Thank you so much. A big applause to every speaker again. And I'm looking forward to our next summit again, our 7th summit. And this is just this summit it is. And I'm feeling very gratitude because due to you guys, this is possible. So I'm done now. Anything else, Becky? Rest, so you can proceed. So we are going to end because it's been a 3.5 hours. So we are coming from a different time zone. If I talk about here, it is 11:30 p.m. My baby is calling, shouting. So yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you from Ashu and all the speakers. Despite the technical issues that we actually had a wonderful time.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everybody.
Assure you we had a wonderful time.
Have a nice time. Bye.
Just everything is going to go on. Bye-bye. Love you guys.
Last moment.
Bye-bye.